uncertainty principle. So this is the part of the do something else. It wasn't, and this is why you have to have this cosmology. There's no continuous state. There's no gap behind this. There's no beat frequency in our current standard models. So it's a three-level tier: electrons, nucleons, and space-time. So when we line up the Sagnac effect and recursive oscillator hierarchy in that way, electrons, nucleons, and the structure of space-time where the unified field brings out matter, we're going to be able to time our resonances, R1, R2, start simplistically. If we can predict from knowing the size of our least unit, we're going to have a reasonable assumption that this is the size of the least unit. We start our little laser blaster over here, we start going across, and we're going to get a blip. That will be the first spectral line. So in a sense, this whole thing is that simple. You know, it's a paradigm shift, so there's all practically infinite mumbo jumbo, and you can see any part of this could have taken 2 hours, the least unit, finding the continuous state, deriving the new string tension, you know, all those things. Each one of those is an hour or more's lecture in itself. So this is an overview and a flavor for it. But that's all it is. This continuous state inherent in the back cloth of space-time, where according to unified field mechanics, which we're trying to discover, emerges matter with this beat frequency and allowing us to, the other thing that's interesting about this is because of that continuous state dimensional reduction compactification process with the beat frequency, half of this is inherent in cosmology in the universe itself. We're getting half of this for free. Half of this for free, which is one of the beauties of it. So we just use, as I said, our little resonance hierarchy, and if the theory is correct, we will have a chance to discover some new spectral lines of hydrogen. And I'm inviting everyone here who wants to be part of this. Like I said, we can have as many people who think they can make a contribution at the Solvay conferences. They took 15 or 17 years, over half a dozen conferences. So this is, even though we've been thinking about a little behind the scenes, this is really the first one. So we go on from here, and we need a little math. We need a little. We have the lead-in. We need to write up a document to apply to NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. They virtually have all the equipment. Get in their queue and get the experiment done. And I guess that's it for the moment. We can, if we're past time for lunch, we can save the first part of the roundtable can be questions. I think the whole thing will be one big question anyway. But anyway, thank you for following. Luke.
So can you say in one sentence the essence of the paradigm shift?
Not a Big Bang cosmology, a multiverse cosmology where the Hubble sphere is closed and finite in time, but nested in this 12-dimensional multiverse that has especially this least unit cycling property that we're going to discover from unified field mechanics that allows us to surmount the uncertainty principle with a simple Sagnac effect resonance hierarchy that should lead to the discovery of new spectral lines of hydrogen. I think there's some separation. You know, if there wasn't enough separation, lambda. I'm saying here's Hubble, lambda at the cosmological scale, and the rest of the multiverse is responsible for dark energy. If the connection was more profound, that would be too much. So there's some kind of just a weak. I think you have to go up. I think you have to go through. I said the highest dimension is causally free of this. I think you're going to find the connection up in the past quantum mechanics where it's causally free. There's going to be some way with the new. I call it a Cube telescope. Maybe that's where the Cube came from. That we will be able to have some access in the future once we get this new experimental methods of unifying field mechanics together to start accessing the higher dimensions. I hope that, I know like the Germans, you can have a sentence that goes on for about a week, so I did my best to only go on for, but multiverse tech cosmology with those list of parameters. And I know you asked me for a list of postulates and parameters, which I will try to do. Anyone who's interested in pursuing this later on, email me to see how I want to be part of it, and we will keep the dialogue going. And